All right. Let's see what we got going on today. Hopefully, give it a couple minutes to get set up. My little Sunday afternoon kind of deal. Let me know if everybody can see me. I should be right-handed. Praise the Lord. All right. So, and I've got my iPad in front so I can see the questions, etc., as we go from here and here. And I'm going to talk about the golf swing and a couple different things that I want to do because understand this. I'm going to lead this right off the bat. First of all, thanks for joining. Second of all, as you know now, I'm kind of the unicorn that can not only just swing the different ways, but talk about it. And as people progress with questions, ask about the lead leg difference, ask about grip, how it's supposed to be. There's slight subtle changes in each one of these things. So I'm going to get right into it because I want you guys to be better. That's why you're watching this channel. I'm going to talk a little bit about the compound pivot compared to the lead leg swing. And listen, not every single person can swing trail leg movement pattern. And if your teacher only knows that, and or you've watched it and you've struggled for a long time, I've given so many of these lessons now where it's like I could spend almost a year trying to get these people over in this leg, and man, this is where they are, right? And when you put them here, it's like the magic happens. So I want to show you the difference slightly. So if you guys are new to the channel, welcome. Got a kettlebell, and this will help explain it a little bit, and then we'll also talk about how the golf club swings. All right. So if I do a lead leg movement pattern, and this is a good little drill for people to feel, is I'm putting pressure on my lead leg first as the kettlebell swings out. When it does, I'm going to put pressure into the lead, as you could tell, is the trail leg. Now, once I do that, the trail leg pushes me back over. Can you see how I'm going the opposite way of the kettlebell? That's as easy as it can get. Now, there are some people that do lead leg and have to just stay pretty much left. So it looks more like this, and you'll see that the right leg stayed straighter. You have to play around with that and see which one that you like, because there are some lead leg players that I've taught now that if they go here, they stay here. They can't get back. So that's a real distinctive thing. The compound pivot, which is a shift and a turn, is where the kettlebell and the weight go together. See? So I'm strong enough to keep my weight over here on my right leg. My right leg will have to straighten. And then as the kettlebell, then my weight goes back left and then unwinds. And then the third, well, there's four actually, because you have centrifugal force too, where if I just stay here in the center as the kettlebell goes, my body counterbalances. I know, but trust me, you'll figure out which one you are when you kind of try to swing in balance. And then the fourth one, which is not really discussed as much, is that but a lot of tour players do it, is the bent leg, trail leg movement pattern, which they're bent, they shift over to the right, they recenter and squat, and then throw. So that's really the distinctive differences in this. There's a couple different tests that you can do. You can take your arms out and twist the body. Now, again, I can do all of these. So for me to twist my body, okay, I can twist it here. That's going to be more of a lead. This will be in the middle, and this will be trail, as you can see it. And some people, when you do this and your head's over here, that it will be a sign that that is like your 100% death move to try to go right, because your head is going to move off the ball and your butt goes left. So you've got to stay over here on your lead leg if you do that. Okay. So those are the distinct differences. Makes a huge difference. And believe me, if you do this every time and you try to watch lead leg and try to feel that, you will struggle. Okay. Another good drill for lead leg feeling is that just like if you're throwing a ball, you can wind your hand up, and as soon as you wind your hand up, you're stepping forward with your left leg. Well, what's making you step forward with this leg is this foot pushing you. Can you see that? Watch. It's real simple. So as soon as I do this, I'm loading this leg. It's subtle, right? So as soon as this leg is loaded and the arm is starting to go back, the right leg or trail leg, however you want to say it, is pushing you back over. And that is what that motion is. All right, now that's a huge thing I just did. Hopefully you guys have asked me any questions you want about this. This is, I'm here for you. All right, what we got? All right, hey Adam. Couple of Zoom, yep, you did, and you struggled. All right. Oh, that's awesome. All right. So first of all, my iPad is right next to my camera, so hopefully I don't look like this the whole time like I did last time. Sorry, I'm learning. All right. So even with Zooms, and even as people sit there and go, all right, hey, I really feel like that this looked like the motion, all right? And as you get over here, you struggle, you can't get back, your body wants to get back. And something triggers in you that you see something where it says, hey, I feel so much better like when I'm winding my hand up and pushing my weight left. That's great. There's nothing, there is zero personal about this. I don't care which one you are, because every single person besides me that teaches this and shows all the different styles, there is a dominant side. I've tested it, and it just depends. I'm very similar in most of them. I can probably add a little more speed when I do the. I'll show you. Probably just because of Newton's laws of physics, right? So the more force you put one way, the faster that it'll go this way, right? And so long drive guys always have a tendency to be a little quicker. So you'll see when I push into my leg here and I really sling it back, like that throws me back left pretty fast. And that's been the downswing is faster. The only way that I can be that kind of speed is to have a much longer swing where my hands get way back over here to create that whip, right? So once I do that, though, they're very similar. So but for you guys, it'll be glaringly apparent which one that you do, and you'll see the differences in these. So ask away. I hope that helps. Hey, John, how are you doing, buddy? Hey, Roger, looking into some compound pivot moves I saw were recommend 4 to 8 opposed to 9 to 3. Let's see. Yeah, I try not to. You're talking about the clock system, I think. Like if this was a clock, ask Harold. Tell me if that's what you're talking about. Where it's like the knee and so if this is 12 o'clock here, or if you want me to do it here, I'll do it here. You tell me which one you guys want to see. 12 o'clock straight ahead here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So when on the compound pivot he's talking about, which is true, when the left ankle rolls, the right pelvis goes back, and that's at 4 o'clock. And that is correct. That is how the compound pivot works. And you'll see how my right leg straightens and the pivot goes over here at 4 o'clock. Then when the right foot rolls, the knee goes out on a bias and it goes to 10 o'clock. See, can you see that? That's what you're talking about. That's true. That's 1,000% true. That's how the knees and the pelvis works for the compound pivot compared to a lead leg, where when you shift over into your right, it's going to go straight across to 3 o'clock, and then from 3 o'clock, it's going to push you back like that. So hope that makes sense. All right. Let's see. I've lost up 15 yards on my irons and even 3 hybrid. Ooh, okay. They go extremely high, and my irons spin the ball so much that I get 12 to 18-inch. All right. So, yeah, you got to figure out LCB. Thanks for joining me, by the way. Basically, for whatever reason, your weight is on your right foot at impact, and that was what causes the shaft to be backwards here. And when you do that, you're going to spin your irons and you're going to release the angle. You could also be more on your right and push the ground left, and then the ground pushes you back a little bit, and that makes you straighten your arms quicker, right? So those are distinctive things that, say, for instance, practice just to see if you're lead leg. And again, of course, there's other tests too where you can stand on your left leg and be in perfect balance. And if you feel comfortable swinging a golf club, that's a lead leg motion. You got more stability over here, so then you would do the lead leg protocols, or trail leg would be this one, or both feet together if you have better balance this way and swing a golf club. So I'm just going to guess. Let's say your lead leg. Then I'll put a golf club here in front, just as a basis. Remember the kettlebell thing. I don't know if you just joined in or not about how that moves, but you could literally get a normal stance. You guys can see the ball here. Just bring your left foot to your right so the club's in the middle, and then practice as soon as you take a swing that you're taking a step forward, putting pressure into it. Can you see how when you put pressure into it, how is your hands and arms are winding up, your weight's left, and then go? You might like that. That's completely up to you. I'm completely guessing, though, without seeing your golf swing. So that's when I tell people, hey, let me see you, spend some time with me, do like a little membership for a month. That's a great deal where you send me your video of your golf swing. I make a little voiceover of what I see, and then make a personal video for you. Okay. And I do that like 8 times a month. So it's a real good value. Let's see. Yeah. Mike Dunaway. Yep, he did. And he's right. He's 1,000%. All right. Talk about upper body position and lead leg to keep on playing. Yeah. Okay. So when you're pushing the ground a little bit to the left, then when you for lead leg, and it just depends, this knee has to be over this foot. That's the number one thing. Also, the toe could be out a little bit, and if your toe has a tendency to splay out here, then the knee can't move too much. If the knee moves too much across the line, then the pelvis goes back. See, and then now that's a trail leg movement pattern. So a lead leg movement pattern, the knee is over the foot and the toe is out. A la Ben Hogan, who was the number 1 ball striking lead leg swinger. Mo Norman also, but that would be what I would do. Now, so as the upper body goes, the head never goes ever off the ball, and never twists left as it goes. Okay. So as soon as you push the ground, just that little bitty bump left, you're winding your hand up, and you can see how my weight pushes my leg back over. See? So now my arm is here, and my weight is here, and now my arm just throws right down the target line. And so it's 1,000% your arm, because how can it be your leg? How can this be your leg? Your right leg's already straight, and you're already here. So you can't start with more lower body, and you can't start with upper body turning. So it's 1,000% your arm. Now, here's the trick, though. On lead leg, my leg is bent. So as my arm is starting to go and throw to the target in the underhand manner, my left leg is straightening to push me and give me the vertical force and the braking force of the body when my hand and arm is throwing. Okay? I hope you can see that. So practice slow motion, making sure that your weight is here a lot of people will try to straighten this leg, and if you straighten your leg and push, look what happens. You're back here. That's not what you want. You want to feel like you're throwing a ball underhanded, so your leg and your knee is over top of your foot, and that's what gives you that power of the leg. Now, the leg does straighten and does feel like it pushes you back, and it pushes you back depending on where the arm throws. Okay? So it's a great question, John, and I hope this is answering that for you. So when I'm here, if I'm throwing my arm up, then my leg will straighten and my spine will be tilted back a little bit, and then I'll throw my arm up higher. Okay? If for whatever reason I want to stay a little more left and my arm throws lower, you'll see that my knee stays bent longer. So the faster this snaps up, the faster my body braces and the faster the arm will swing and the more up the arm will go. Okay, that's how the pelvis and the arm works together. You're welcome. How would you fix a sway on the backswing? Well, you don't have one. You're just lead leg there, David. But if you are lead leg, then your pelvis is just always going to feel happy times staying right here. So that's not a sway. I've never seen you sway. I've known David for a while now, and his tendency is when his head, and we tried a whole bunch of different things, and when he tries centrifugal force or tries to roll his foot, what happens though is that his head likes to move off the ball. And so and I understand why your head moves off the ball, David. Your head moves off the ball. Where do you see my butt go? See, even though I feel like I'm over here on this leg, you can see that my butt's this way. So that is a lead leg movement pattern that your body is trying to say, hey, I don't like being over here. I don't want my head over here. So I'm trying to get over here again. I'm trying to get over here again. And this is what you think is a sway. See, but that's not a sway. That's your brain saying, hey, I want pressure on my left. This is what I like to do. When I close my eyes and I swing my arms, I go left. See, so if you do that, that's what your brain and body likes. If you do this, now that's going to be a different world. That means that you're going to be comfortable being over here and being able to push the ground back left and let your body unwind, which we know you don't like. So it's not really how do you fix your sway. It's how do you fix which one are you, and your brain will do it. Because understand this, play around with me if you want to. Roll your left ankle to where your pelvis, and this is one of my favorite drills when I tell people on the compound pivot that I'm tired. And when I say I'm tired, meaning you're like at a grocery store and all I want you to do is just put all your weight outside your leg. When you do that, pick your foot up. Now, that can't be a sway because my head's on center, my weight's on my right leg. So then from here, that's how the body then pivots. Can you see? See, I'm just rotating around the femur bone, and my knee and my foot rolling is what does it. See? So that might look like a sway to some people, and this would be absolutely detrimentally horrible for a lead leg player. So if you mix these, you're going to look bad, and then golf pros or other people that mean well but still don't know is that your brain is saying, hey, I'm a lead leg guy. I'm a lead leg guy. And you're like, well, I've been trying to roll my foot and shift my body, and now you have a sway because you're a lead leg guy. Your brain wants to be over here, even though your body, and they all mean well. So what would that look like if I was like, hey, take your golf pro who only knows one method, per se, says, all right, you're a lead leg player, but I want you to take the club back in one piece. Now, when you do that, your arms and chest go here, your weight goes into this leg. But if your brain says, dude, I want to be over here, you're gonna do this. And now you've got a what? Now you've got a sway, right? So that's the reason, right? So some of these work well, right? For instance, I've watched a lot of recently. You know, they're like, "Ooh, he's the hottest UK instructor." Liam Nelson, absolutely right. Knows one method, knows the lead leg method. Every single lesson is you get over here, you push the ground left, your head's over here, and then you push the ground and you throw. Right? That's awesome, and that's 100% correct. But if you're trying to do that, and if you're a trail leg player, then good luck. That's not going to help you. Okay. So that doesn't work for everybody, and you cannot teach everybody the same thing. 1000%. I've been a teacher now since I'm 19 years old. I've been studying the golf swing since I was 13, and I've been able to relearn and map all these different movement patterns because I've spent my life doing it. And you guys have a master leg and a master movement in the arm and a master movement. And once you find it and then fine tune it, then you can be your true self. Otherwise, you're going to struggle in this game for a long time. All right, let's see. As the left shoulder goes up in the downswing, what is the right arm doing? Straightening. What is it feeling to get the low point consistent? It's too okay. So Brianna, Brianna. Sorry. So it's all different. I wish I could give that same answer, so it's too generic, but I'll try to talk about it. As the left shoulder goes up in the downswing, what's the right arm doing? So they're all doing different things. Okay. So if I am a compound pivot, for instance, stay with me now. So my spine will work like this. My head's on center. My pelvis is over here. My weight is 100% on my right leg. So to hit the golf ball, I'm not going to throw my hand and arm. So I don't care about what my arm does here, right? My right foot has to roll to set my pelvis and now I've got it upright and I have a support post on my left leg and my hand is here. And now the golf club whips. So I don't care about my shoulder or what my arm is doing there. My hands and arms are just going along for the ride, and you can see what it looks like. And that's kind of also how Sam Snead hit the ball, right? And then lead leg is totally different. I'm still not thinking about my shoulder like ever. Shoulder is a secondary mover. Not even that, really. It's the whole spine here. So when I move this spine, that moves my shoulder. Shoulder joint does this and goes back and does this and goes this. This doesn't really have any bearing. When people say I take my shoulder back, it's really the whole spine if they're going to go. Long drivers will talk about, maybe that's what you're talking about, long drivers will talk about making their shoulder go up, but they're using centrifugal force, the ground, and they're trying to go backwards while the golf club's going this way. So when the shoulder does go up from the spine, the golf club snaps and releases over. That's different. Okay. So you see what I mean by this? These are all different movement patterns. So what does the arm do in a lead leg, and what does it do in the trail leg, and what does it do on a bent trail leg where now you have to plant and your elbow comes back down to your side, which I'm sure you've seen that drill by several instructors, and then rotate through. So they're all different release patterns. Can you show the compound move with your driver? Oh, yeah. But driver needs to be more shallow to prevent from hooking. No, I know you. And this is, by the way, this is my slingshot, which I love, and I can train people with different ways this way. This is driver length. So, okay. So what the difference of what he's talking about is when he makes the left ankle roll and just goes only here. Can you see how my right pelvis is up and my knee is kind of towards the ball? And that works okay for an iron because then as I roll my right foot, I'm over on my left a little bit as I go through and I'll hit down. So with a driver, you've got to get completely behind it. So you just have to trust and build up a little flexibility and trust that my hands and arms go along for the ride. Watch the difference in my left ankle joint when I roll for a driver in the compound pivot. Now, you see how much more wound up I am. So when I'm here and now I shift over, now I got more pressure on this right toe because I was more behind it, and now I'm going to hit up. See? So it looks more like, as you guys can kind of see it, it'll look more like this. Okay, and that's more of a driver. So I'm more like that. So you can see that. So you have to get your foot. Your foot's got to be completely released for a driver on a compound pivot. How you doing, guys? Thank you. Thank you. Great questions. I hope that helps. My guilty pleasure, while I talk a lot, a diet sugar-free Coke Cherry Cola Zero. My guilty pleasure. Lord knows I got several, but that's one. All right, ask it away. Ask more questions. I love it. And this, of course, we'll bring up a point. I think we're going to hopefully be tomorrow. I know patience because of my team that does the videos and stuff. It takes them about a week to edit it all as I'm doing the better cameras. So it's about every 7 to 8 days. We're trying to do it once a week. I'll be talking about how to stop the slice. Then my next one after that's going to be TPI. And then this Thursday, I'll be filming, play a couple of holes with me so you guys can watch me on the golf course a little bit and discuss shot shapes and what I'm thinking about when I'm hitting the shot. So hopefully super informative for you. Oh yeah, show your driver on lead leg. Not a problem, dude. Okay. So now I'm going to put my pressure a little left. Now I'm going to show you my lead leg. There's two. Because lead leg will be, I'm going to use my hand first where I just wind up. So I'm just going to stay right here in my left. You'll see a little bit of a push left. You'll see my hands and my arms wind up. And you'll see my weight go left. Okay. And I throw out. Okay. Then you're going to see the difference of that and the sling back. Now the sling back's faster. And you can only really feel it with a slingshot where you make it snap this way. Okay. So, and I'm swinging close. I'm almost could hit the wall and almost hit the mirror, but I'm right in the perfect spot for you guys to see it. All right. So that's the reason why I kind of check it real quick. All right. So you'll see on this lead leg, my weight goes left, right, then pushes me back over. So watch the difference. Can you see more speed? And you'll hear this thing click, right? So all I'm doing now is slinging it back and through. And it's faster, and the tempo is faster. I can't really, here's another thing too. Once you, in lead leg motion, like once you get it going and you sling it back, you're letting the pressure go. Now, you'll also notice, if you want to put the, and you can, this will be on there so you can go back and you can pause it and you can be like, wait a minute, I saw something different, Roger. That's right. So in a lead leg sling back pattern, I will have more weight go into the trail bent, and this leg is what is slinging it back. So when it slings back, this knee has got to move a little bit more this way because I'm over here pushing the ground, pushing me back down. Okay, I know that's a subtle, and I've never even put that in anywhere in the motion of a lead leg sling back. So the reason why, if you do this, you have to have a little more power in that right to throw you back left. Whereas if I just stay on my leg, on the first one, you'll notice it, that I just wound my hand up and my knee pretty much just kind of bounces and stays over this left leg. I really don't know which one you are. You have to experiment with it and see, because it's still a lead leg movement pattern. So but there are some that I've taught, and I try, and they're lead leg, okay, I promise. And I tried to teach them this, and it's disastrous. And then other lead leg people get it immediately and push straight back over and happy and all of that. So, and then there's others that just have to stay here. In fact, they have to stay here so much that they can't even tilt their head like this at setup. When people have been told to keep your head behind the ball, that's hogwash crap, okay? 1,000%. If you are a trail leg player, yes, head back, you're loading this leg, okay? If you're a lead leg player, no good. You have to have your head right in the middle where this leg is here. You wind up, that leg is straight, this knee is over that foot, go. If you're a sling back lead leg, you're going to put pressure here. Now you're creating more ground force, but now you're going to have more leg this way as it pushes you back over. All right, very distinctive difference. I've never really discussed that, but I've noticed that's what happens when you make that motion. What is a thought to ensure ball first and then turf for wedges? Weight on the left leg for sure. This is one of my favorite ones by far. And this is a great feeling for impact, that if you have a tendency to usually, let me back up. What causes all of that is misinformation, okay? When you are on this leg incorrectly and your shaft's leaning backwards, you're fighting what your natural tendency is, for one, and you've been told to probably turn your body, and if you turn your body, you're going to have a reverse pivot, okay? This is just the way it is, right? A golf pro can talk about turn their body, but they'll turn their body and keep their leg in the right spot because they've learned pressure shifts and things, whether or not without knowing it. So if you just turn your body and you have no shift of any kind, you're dead, okay? So what'll happen is to turn the body, the golf club goes behind you too much. Now you got to throw it over and you're going to release the angle. You'll be a bad golfer forever. You'll basically just try to figure out some kind of way to lift up, to do something, to come back into impact. So instead of saying why everything's bad, just stand on your left foot and kind of put your toe behind you. The ball is going to be opposite your toe. And when you swing back, you're just going to feel the butt of the club point at the ball, because that'll teach your hands. Also, if you're new to my channel, watch the hand, wrist, and forearm. I have tons of videos and playlists. And as you swing back, the butt of the club will point at the ball, and your butt of the club will point at the ball. Because even when I'm talking about all these pressure shifts, the golf club swinging like this is what has to happen. And so when you do that, the shaft will lean forward at impact and then through on the other side, okay? So you won't hit it fat. You hit it fat because your weight is on your back foot and you've released an angle and your hand and club goes down into the ground, okay? So that right there would be a great one to, that's a great one to do if you're hitting the ball fat. Any drills for getting my left hand to release as a lefty? Left hand, release under as a lefty. So like throwing under, okay? So the joints work in pairs, okay? So this, if you're a lefty, but I'm going to talk about it in both ways, okay? So this left hand, if it's to swing in a circle arc, this will go, let me kind of do it here where I'll show you. This goes where the glove emblem will kind of face straight ahead and the right wrist bends back. Then on the other side, this does the opposite. This hand will do this because of the arm, and the left hand will do that. Now, what does that look like on this side? This is your left-handed motion, okay? So they are whatever you do on one side, you do on the other, and that's how a golf swing becomes in a circle, okay? So if I do that, this hinges back, this makes a quarter roll. That's the left-handed motion. As I swing through, then that would be impact, where the shaft is out forward into the arm. And then from here, then this hand will do that motion, which is a backward bend. And that's extension on for a left-handed fall through. And then that hand does that. So look, they mirror each other. So practice that feel. Then do it with a golf club. Sorry, I don't have a left-handed club. I guess I could have used the slingshot's kind of a big thing. So, oh, hang on. Got one thing. One sec. Too many cool tools. This one I got from E6. You know, I paid them about a couple $150 or so, and it was a horrible operating system where it would try to read the ball was on the end of this thing. But it does snap when you have power with it, so I use that. And I can take it on trips with me, and I can do little lessons with this. Now, so, hey, at least it got some kind of function out of it, money out of it. So you'll watch the left hand motion. There's the hand, quarter hand, and there, this, if you watch, is the double pendulum where the golf club swings and releases. And if I was going to throw underhanded, that's the same motion as me throwing. And then watch, it's the same. So if I did this and moved my hands, you'd see that's a left-handed swing. And if I did this, that's a right-handed swing. See? So they're the same. They're one and the same. Because if you watch some of my videos before, people think I'm left-handed. Well, technically, when you watch the video, everything I said was correct. It was just on the other side. So that's an equal circle, and that's a great way to feel the drill. So watch my hand video and hand action, and then just put it in a mirror, and you can see it. That's all right. So does that help, dude? I bet you've never heard that. Have you ever heard that before? Did you know that the motions are the exact same on both sides? So that's because that's really what that right there. If you do that, so if anybody wants to do this, and then so this is here, and then this is what actually would come back into extension when you come into the ball as it unwinds, right? So you see that I'm on plane here as a circle. If I bring this hand over here, that's where I would be there. Also, a really, really good visual, because it works as a perfect circle for everybody, is you can point the butt of the club at the ball. If there's a ball on the ground, you can point the butt of the club right at the ball, and you can see, is Roger swinging lefty or is Roger swinging righty, right? It does not matter. Also, if you put a camera down, and by the way, because of I love the camera when I don't use the phone correctly. If you go back and watch my compound pivot where I just have the camera on my feet, I'm actually discussing the compound pivot where it's right, left, and not one person caught it that I was actually had the camera the wrong way. Again, kind of, I think that's my claim to fame. But when I was doing this and this, they're the exact same for a compound pivot. So a compound pivot in the left leg, you guys want to trip out? Watch this, okay? So if I let this foot roll, does that not look like my pelvis is over here? I've shifted and released. So that's a compound pivot that's left-handed. And so that motion there is right and left. It's equal. So whatever you do on one side, you would do on the other if it's a circle. That's pretty cool, huh? You're welcome. So don't just because you're a lefty doesn't mean you can't do the compound pivot action or now this one will be funny. I don't know if I can do a lead leg over here. I've never done it. But yeah, it's going to be weird. That's a weird feel. Never really done that lefty. Other than in the camera where I did it wrong. There you go. Yeah, that's weird. All right, take a Coke break, ask a question. This is also a good time to, I got 109. I'm almost coming up on 200 videos. I know I think that's a milestone. I'll probably look at that and laugh at that when I'm like possibly 65 years old and made 1,000. But I know it's not hydrating. I get that. All right. Yeah, go to rkswingking.com where you can check it out, where you can do a live Zoom lesson with me. I have the package deals and all that, and the membership site, which is what I really want to continue to grow, because I feel like I help people, I can help more people, and then you guys kind of get the feedback from what you think you're doing are two different things. Then I make a little video for you, analyze your golf swing over a voiceover. I use the OnForm app. I tried to use Sports app. I think the OnForm app was really good, but very, very user friendly. It's got 3D capabilities. It's got all the stuff that I need. And then we'll just go from there. And if anybody has done some of the videos with me, you can chime in on the comments and tell me how much you like it or what you'd like to see different. It does take a little bit of time sometimes for me to kind of narrow it down. And how much are you going to practice? That's a whole nother thing as well. And then we go from there. Hey, Robin, how are you? Thank you, Jay. Appreciate you guys. Yep. So ask any question if you're just new, if you're just hanging out. I'm here for you. Ask any questions, golf related. Is anybody confused on what I'm saying or how you guys can figure it out? And I watch some people, and their success leaves clues, and you know, we all have people go, oh, you're copying such and such, and here and here and there. Man, I've copied about everybody because otherwise I'd be the original golf teacher from the 1800s, right? So, you know, I think that you figure out which teacher has what style, and that's when I think that you get lucky. Like, because I think most instructors are just a one-trick pony. They know one thing, you know, like how many times can you say you got to skip a rock, dude, right? And scream about it. So, you know, obviously, you know, he knows that one move, he knows that one method, right? Which is fine. And if that works for you, then he is the greatest instructor for you. 1,000%. If you go to, like what I said before, Liam Nelson, if you go to, say, more Sean Foley, if you go to, you know, someone like that, you're going to probably on average be a little more lead leg, even though he has taught some people. And when I put Sean Foley, Butch Harmon, and some others in different categories slightly, because they teach a bunch of tour players who have a bunch of different motions. So they have to know all the motions, what they're doing, to be able to teach them and to help them and not change them. Now let's see. Test. Cart path only test. All right. XIAOMI new technique. And I'm usually up to date on most of them, but that one, if you're asking me that one, I'm not quite sure. How far does the right hip turn on the compound pivot? That's awesome. That is probably one of the best questions for the compound pivot, because the right hip pelvis goes outside the foot first by the foot rolling, and then it's your level of flexibility, one, and strength flexibility in the fascia here, because this is lengthened, if you can see this. So watch what happens when so what brings my hip back? I don't just turn my hip back, okay? The reason why I love this question is if you are trying to take your hip back, you are screwed, okay? Even on a compound pivot. So when I go here and then try to take my hip back, where did my weight go? That away, okay? So what moves it there? My foot rolling is what pushes my pelvis over. My knee, because my foot rolled, my knee moving is what pushes my entire spine back at this angle. So how far back can I go? There is one video of me where I was swinging, I don't know. I mean, I'm not Kyle Berkshire, but it was probably 130-ish, and he's 150-ish. So don't get it twisted. Like this is a more speed than most people, but not like long drop speed. So when I swung, my foot and knee moved more, my pelvis moved more, and my knee was up against this knee. But this is my head on center, guys. Yes. Can I pick my foot up? Yes. So therefore, all my weight is on this leg. So with this, you can see it here. There's my knee from my foot moving, and my whole spine moves. If I try to move my right pelvis or my right butt back from here, I will reverse pivot. So it's the knee and the foot going out. Just like the lefty asked, by the way, and I love it because this is the same, and I think Mike Dunaway had more of a PC case, and I'm doing my best. Sometimes I get a little frustrated and curse a little bit, but I'm trying not to curse if you guys didn't notice. Thanks for that. But when I shift over, you can see that if I was over here, I could take and kick my leg. Okay, so because my spine and pelvis has moved so much that I could literally kick my leg if I wanted to. And then when I shift over here, now from here I could kick my leg this way. So that is the motion of the compound pivot. If you try to turn your right hip back, you're going to be over here, and now you can see all my weight is here, and now this leg can kick. So hope that helps that up. I'll have to look. A.R. Robin Singer. I'll have to look up the Xiaomi new technique. Is that the maybe I'm thinking I didn't get his name, but is that the Asian guy that kind of has the float the arm and then comes down? If that is the case, I'll discuss that in a way that you guys can kind of understand. That's also what like a Matthew Wolf does, or there's a juju swing. By the way, I don't know why things have to be labeled, but we talked about the circle for a minute, okay? So if I can get you back, no matter what you do, where the butt of the club is going to be, and the shaft is on my toe line, okay? So I'll answer it this way. So watch my compound pivot, okay? And when I finish, where's the shaft? It's on my toe line, parallel. My wrists are hinged. My hand is here, okay? Now I'm going to lead leg throw. And as I throw my arm, again, I'm right here, right? If I sling back and come back and push the ground, again, I'm in the same spot. If I just point the butt of the club at the ball and the ball, I'm in the same spot. You get where I'm going with this? So I could do this zuzu swing thing or whatever this is, okay? And as long as I know to come back to that position on the toe line and wrist cocked here, I can hit any shot or do any style. So tour pros, don't get it twisted. They can immediately they have hand-eye coordination. They know where this spot is. They know where the spot is right here. And that's where the butt of the club is like a pendulum, and then they can release it or not, or they can turn, or they can do whatever they want to do because they're golf pros. They're top 0.00001% of the world, same as me. So therefore, that's why I can teach you and go up here and come down here. I can let centrifugal force come up here and swing, and I just let my hands and arms drop. Look where my golf club is. I could be lead leg and look where my golf club is. So I know it's right here. I can do whatever I want to do with it. I can hit it straight just from about any position that I want, because when I come back here, you're here. You guys have one optimal way of doing this, and when you figure it out, then all of a sudden it'll be right there. So, so somebody who teaches someone to their feel and then says, do what I do, is screwing you, okay? Because the odds of it's maybe 10% of the golf world will go, oh, this feels good, right? Like that's his own unique swing. So the juju swing I'm talking about, and that other Asian guy does that kind of thing and flips it over, and then talks about the golf club coming under and all that. Okay, so I hope that helps. And that's not really a I'm not mad, right? That's not a rant. That's the frustration level of when someone talks about a method, and even the stack and tilters, who just stay left and twist their body, right? Which for 99% of the people is not ever going to work, right? The segutos and all that. But what happens is when they come back, their shaft is on their toe line and they've learned to release it. So does that work for some people? And do some people say stack and tilt is great for them? Yes. And if you tell me stack and tilt is great for you, that's awesome. I don't care. I don't care what method you use. I don't. I really don't. Someone says, man, I really like the lead leg swing, and that's what I want to do. I'm like, okay. I mean, 100%, you're probably more of a trail leg movement pattern, but let's give it a go and see. And then, or, hey, every once in a while, I'm wrong. And then, which I'm fine in saying, okay, 1,000%. There's not a lot of golf pros that will say that either. I will mix up the methods to figure out what works best for you. and it might take me a couple times. So that's the reason why a lot of people, when they do a package lesson with me, I always tell people, hey, give me about 3 lessons, and we can hammer it down within 3 lessons, right? Of like which one you truly are, why, what is your cancer that you move, and all that. So, for instance, one of my longest ones, and he, I think he's a good player, but for him, his default is, and then he'll know what I'm talking about in a second. His default is to bend the arm a little bit more and the head to move. So when I put him on his trail, he'll bend a little bit, but he's in a good spot. Now he likes to come through and open his body a little bit. But look where the club is. The club's going down the target line, and he's not releasing it early when he does it. So that's just his own individual style. It's like taking David Duval and saying, hey, I don't want you to rotate your head and open your chest. They're matchups, right? So, and if you are trying to search for like a perfect golf swing, you'll always be going down that rabbit hole of, okay, this doesn't match my movement pattern, or it does. All right, ask another question. I like it. I didn't watch any football today. Did the Titans win? I know. Sorry, I'm using you guys as my social media as well. All right, next question. Who wants to ask me something? Oh yeah, the little E6 thing. All right. Oh, you know what? This will be a fun one. What do you want to see more on the video that I do Thursday, swinging wise? What do you want me? How do you want me to swing? Do you want me to play it a couple different shots with a couple different styles so you guys can see it, or just pick one for that day? Like, okay, today's that I'm going to play the first hole as a compound pivot, second hole as a lead leg. I'm going to chip with this lead leg motion, or I'm going to chip with centrifugal force, or a trail leg underhand, or whatever. Would you tell me, guys, what you'd like to see on the channel coming up? Because this is really, again, this is every single person that's watching this, asking questions, wants to get better. So, man, tell me what you guys want to see next, right? Like I said, I'm here for you. So you just tell me what you want to see next on the next video. Do you want to see me playing the hole, being on a lead leg and being like a little mini Mo Norman kind of thing, or do you want me to be more like much more like a Sam Snead kind of motion? You tell me. All right. What is that I'm holding? Oh, Francis, this is one of my favorite things. This is a slingshot. So the reason why I like it is if you're a lead leg player, and you could literally learn to just, so if I for instance, I want to be quiet for a second, okay? I know you guys already think I talk too much maybe, but all right, I'm gonna be on my left leg and I'm just gonna use my hands to go back. So you can't really hear anything, okay? So there's a firing pin up this thing. So when you lead leg and you sling it back, it's gonna look like this. And now you heard a snap. So you can't make it snap unless you're lead leg and slinging back, right? So I love that for that. And then if you're a compound pivot person, you're a little more narrow, your foot rolls, you got a longer swing, you don't hear anything until after the ball is gone, okay? And then because if you go here, I don't want to hurt myself. All right, and then I shift backwards. you'll see that it snapped and it snapped back here. See? So I like this. This is probably one of the best little swing training aids. I don't endorse much. If you guys have noticed that, there's been a lot of companies that have reached out to me. I even have paid for this. This was not given. But when I first saw it, I said, oh yeah, this is dead. Even just for the one thing, maximum of the sling this way is a dead giveaway to me to be able to go. So when I do this, I put all my weight like out here. And when I do that, can you see how I automatically throw my weight over here? So that teaches you to make that little snapback. Okay. So that's what this is. It's called a slingshot. If you want one, leave a comment and I will give you a code that you get like a % off. And yes, I do have a discount code for that tool. And let's see. For me, it's compound pivot, especially off the T box, since I'm finally grasping the concept. That's my man. That's my man. And that is the best way, if you're a trail leg movement pattern, to keep your head on center. Just like so. Now, that doesn't mean that if you're lead leg, you don't keep your head on center. It just means that when you swing, you have a tendency to have a teeny bit of shift into the right and a recenter back left. But you can really see how the head doesn't move much from that. Now, if you sling back a little bit, your head's going to move a little bit. The ground is pushing you, and the ground is pushing you. And on a lead leg, your head kind of moves a little bit more. It's not a perfect circle because you're lead leg, right? And a lead leg motion, just like throwing a ball, does your head stay perfectly still while you shift your weight into your right leg and back left? No. So the only way to keep your head perfectly still and not have any of the motions is going to be the compound pivot. However, if your right leg is not comfortable in doing that, do not try it just to try to swing like Sam Snead. Okay? So, yeah, after this video, I will put a code up for this. This is the driver. Listen, they're a little bit on the high end. I know that. It's not because maybe it's because I like nice stuff, but I just think this was one of the best things that I've seen. There are click things, but for the release on the downswing, but this one for sure, I love, especially the lead leg backswing this way. I like the weight of it. The driver is stiffer, it's heavier. There is an iron as well. I'll show you. So the iron is a little easier to snap. It's a little shorter. The shaft is a little more flexible. And so it mimics a little bit more of the iron feel. Okay, so like that. So as you can see, that's the compound pivot compared. And if you're going to have the sling back, it's going to be faster. Also, this is a real important point, if you're going to sling compound pivot, which I'm fine with that, again, don't care. But look at the difference in tempos and balances and pressures. So when you do this in lead leg, you're going to be quick. That's going to be a quick, because you're just basically pushing the ground as the hand and arms winding up. So it's real fast. So when you do a compound pivot, you're got to be slow. You can't, or if you're swinging a weight, like a weight on a string kind of thing, you can't speed that up. So if someone tells you, oh, you're swinging too fast, but you're a trail leg player, then they're correct in what they're saying, right? So therefore, the rhythm is all right. You don't hear a thing, then back left, and then it's all violence right at the ball, okay? So if you're swinging, if you're swinging slow and you're trying to be a lead leg guy, good luck. That's not going to happen. That does not happen. Every lead leg player has this kind of natural rhythm, quick wind up throw, right? So in every lead leg or every trail leg is much smoother and slower. You cannot mix that. So if somebody's lead leg playing slow is bad, and somebody who is trail leg and playing fast is bad. But otherwise, if somebody says something otherwise and says, hey, you're lead leg and man, you're swinging pretty fast, you're swinging too fast, tell them shut up. Okay. Yep. And like I said, I'll give you guys a discount for this. The iron's easier to snap, okay, because it's got a little more flexible to it. Also, these weights you can add or take away. So as you can see, there's like a firing pin in it. And so you can add the firing pin or take it out. I use that for older clients sometimes. Also, and this is something that I like the feeling of it for training your hands. So if you were to take it back very stiff-wristed like this, then your golf club cannot set up over your shoulder. So I don't know if you guys have noticed or not, but you can literally do it one of two ways. I could never, ever move the golf club with my hands or arms feeling and just pressure the ground left and right and then back left and see how my hand is just responding to the weight as it's snapping back. So did I do anything with my arm or hand? No. So it could just literally go on its own path, and then the ground's going to push me back, and then it slings out this way. So you could literally sling it both ways and have passive hands. On the compound pivot, I'm not doing anything with my hands and arms as well. I'm literally just letting the feet roll and my hands and arms go along for the ride. And you can see that I have more pressure on my right and left. And you can see I didn't do anything with my hands and arms. And then right here, centrifugal force just whips. So far too many people are probably trying to control this thing with tension in the left arm and arms. And everybody that I know tries to, all right, they're going to tighten their hands and arms. They're going to try to swing, and they think the arm here, this is the arm, by the way. It's the arm. The arm is from the elbow, right above the elbow joint to the navicular bone, or for the left-hander, right? So when I swing back and I'm making the pressure, I'm going to bring this back over. Look at my arm. Did it move off my chest? No. So far too many people think that the arms do a whole bunch of things, and really the arm here just stays connected to this as you're either making the lead shift or that shift. But to be clear, the hands have to be supple. And the reason why I like the slingshot is when you do this, your wrists have to be supple to do that. So remember, when we talk about, go back to the lefty for a second, is this motion is like a backhand of a left hand, or it's the flinging back of the right hand. So, but they work the same, see? So that's the release of the left hand, or for a left-hand thrower, or a backward sling back of a left-handed player. See? So it's the same. Hang on, I'm kind of out of camera when I did that. Sorry. See? So that, look. And look where my golf club is. Now watch. I'm just slinging this back, okay? I'm not moving anything. I'm just slinging it back. Where is it? Where is it, guys? It's right over my shoulder. Did I do anything with my arm? I just slung it back, right? So it's where it's supposed to be. So if you try to take the golf club back with hands and arms and triangle wide on average, you're going to have a hard time getting this to set because you have a wider arm, almost feeling like it's separating from your chest. Right? So when I do the compound pivot and I roll my foot and I take my golf club away, look, where is it? Okay? And if I put my hand on it and I'm going to bring this back out in front so you can see it, did my arm move off my chest? The answer would be no. See? Same position. So this is what I mean by doing this in front of a mirror and understanding all these angles. I don't hit golf balls, guys. You might see me hitting some chip shots and pitch shots when I'm teaching short game and stuff or helping people with their golf swing a little bit, but I don't hit golf balls. I don't have to hit golf balls. I literally can just make these movements because I've done it in front of a mirror enough and understand which joint moves what and why. And so that's how you get better. Then go hit some balls on the range or some foam plastic balls at home. I cannot stress this enough. If every single person that came into Country Hills that I have given hundreds of thousands of golf balls, far too many, okay? I understand that everybody wants to take some frustration out and hit some golf balls, right? And just whack it with their hands and arms, okay? Okay, that's all I kind of see. There's no study of human movement. There's no practice of understanding the compound pivot or the lead leg motions and all those things, and then letting the ball just get in the way. Because I never hit a ball. Understand that. I'm never staring at the ball. I want my chin to move freely with my xiphoid process, whether or not it is a lead leg motion or it is a compound motion. This goes together with this. If your head's ever been told to stay still, you will fight the world. You can see how my weight's going the opposite way because I'm staring at the camera and my chin's not moving. So these are really important things that people have no idea about. And if you just hit golf balls on the range and you stare at the ball and you whack it with your hand and arm, good luck. You're shooting 95 to 100 and you're trying to figure it all out. Get in front of a mirror, watch my videos, train the movement pattern, then go hit some balls on the range to test and to feel, right? If you got a simulator at home, that's awesome. Don't wear it out. You can test it. Say, oh, listen, when I roll my foot, my chin moved over here. I can still see the camera, but I'm not staring at you. So if I got up here to the top and I tried to hit the ball, what do you think I did, guys? I released the club early, right? So I never try to hit a ball. I try to make a motion, and I let the ball get in the way, okay? So I cannot stress the difference and the distinction of those, right? And that's why people, when I say what you think you do and do are two different things. And also your movement pattern is probably not what you should be doing. And you're also have to kind of unglue and kind of screw your mind where what you thought, not only what you thought you were doing, you're not doing, but then too, you have the wrong concept. So, and try to explain the concepts to you, which is why hopefully you watch my videos. All right. And then, of course, the membership site, when you send it to me, I can easily see what you do, what your tendencies are, and what your drills are. Okay? Oh, I'll put the discount code in when I'm done with this. Okay? I appreciate you asking. I promise I will. I have there's a video. It's probably on lead leg, and it goes into the slingshot. It's actually one of my newer ones as well, where I just have the slingshot and I'm talking to the guy. I think there's a coupon code there that's on there. But I'll still put it in the. I'll put it in this in the link on this one as well. All right, when I get done with this. All right, which I'm getting close. It's almost time for me to go see my girl. So about 6:07. So been going a little over an hour. And then what I have to do is I have to tape this to put it on TikTok because they won't, and it has to be just slightly under an hour. So I'll have to cut some of this. But you guys get the idea. All right, so I'll take two more questions. Again, check out the rkswingking.com, and I will make sure to put the link in for the slingshot. And again, I want you guys to use it. You know, it's not something that I feel like I try to swing it just about every day to get a feeling for it and all that. I do have a couple of Mach 3 things that I have bought. Again, I buy it, I try it, I see if it's worth anything, and then I can use it. And if I start using it and liking it, then I'll maybe get with them and get with an affiliate deal. That's kind of how it works. And they've got this one kind of heavier motion that kind of goes along with lead leg motion as well. So I'm looking forward to trying that out, and I'll let you guys know about that. So you don't have to spend your extra money. And I can tell you, okay, that was a piece of crap. For instance, I got a ball that you put between your arms, and I think it's horrible. Okay, because when you put a ball between your forearms, it makes you squeeze your arms together. Well, how tight does that make me look? Right? Does that look free? Does that look free? Yeah. So I could never put my elbows and my arms together without without tension. So anyway, so just example for that reason, you know, you spend some money and you go, well, that was a horrible waste. Anyway. Doug, I hate to disagree with you. The reason why he did hit 1,000 balls and he was the best ball striker ever, and he didn't use gimmicks, but what he did do was he figured out his golf swing. He was also autistic, so just he saw things differently in a different world. Also, that is 100% an outlier, right? If you have he owned his golf swing. You know. By the way, I've met him. Okay, back in the day. So when I say I know everybody that's worth anything, I've met everybody or close to it. Yes. Um, he is. He's autistic for sure. My son's autistic. I can see it. I know it. I can see patterns of how the brain works. I think that whole thing happened when he got hit in the sled. And he got drug under his head, and that was early in his life. And so he could start to see numbers and angles and things that other people can't. Also, what made him socially awkward. Now, get on mode, but he figured out his golf swing when he was 19 years old. But if I had a curve, for instance, right, that's 0 to 100, and the average is here of tour players, and you're outside the average here, or you're outside the average here. When somebody said, hey, you get more speed when you create more whip and don't pause. Well, then somebody's going to go, Hideki Matsuyama pauses. Cameron Young pauses. Great. 2 people out of what? 1.5 million, right? So they're not the norm. Mo Norman, greatest ball striker, is not you. He's not me. You know, so to never, ever, 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 ever try to copy a golf pro that's on TV, that has been one of the best ball strikers on the planet, because his DNA is different. It'd be like saying, hey, I'm going to work on my jump shot like Michael Jordan. It ain't never going to happen. Okay. So I'm just trying to teach the basics and physics of motion. And so, yes, the slingshot does help if you are learning to sling it back and if you have stiff wrists. That's kind of where I was going with that, right? So just because one guy never used a training method. Also, just the last little thing, Doug, if you didn't know him and he never used a training method, or he never said he used a training method, how do you know unless you watched him hit lots and lots of golf balls on your own? Or did he swing in front of a mirror a bunch at home in the middle of the night, or all of that, right? And unless you're Mo Norman, you're the only one who has that answer. All right. So, yeah, I can't speak in 100% somebody just does X, right? So, you know, so I just go from there. All right. So I'll leave it with that. Go check out the rkswingking.com. Do a Zoom golf lesson with me so I can help you with your golf game. Go to the YouTube page, 192 videos. This is maybe 193, I think. So I'm edging up on the 200. And I'm here for you guys. For the membership site, when you go there, you can see it. I can analyze it, see what you do, make a personal video for you, and get you on your merry way. All right? So, and everybody, I'm so blessed to be able to do this. Thank you so much. I'll be leaving the golf course within a couple of months, where I'll be doing this full time. God is good to me. Hopefully he's been good to you. So everybody, have a great night, and God bless.